Because even though it's apparently a taboo, if you're a competitive eater, what you want to do is you want to drink water because it expands your stomach. Allows for more food in there.
Competitive eater.
Yeah.
All right, we are live. If you can see this, thumbs up on WhatsApp, please.
Dibs on the tomato.
Sony Mar says, got it. Got it, dude. Anyone watch Fuller House?
I did.
Fuller
I
House?
watched all episodes already.
That's great.
Exactly. That was gonna be disappointed.
Puerto Rico, if you have coffee like this, send me a thumbs up.
Yeah.
It's
If
the
you know what
best
colada
coffee.
is.
I don't know if they call it colada because everyone's different. It's espresso mainly, but like when you go anywhere you ask for an espresso, it's not like this.
It's not as strong or concentrated.
No, it's not as concentrated. It's great.
I think all they do is put a lot of sugar in it though.
Oh, you guys got that good
Hey,
coffee. I got a
no wonder
thumbs
they're
up
so
on that one.
energetic.
All right. So everyone, this next part is a little bit different. Alemi and Sonimar, I don't know how much this is going to relate to you because I know the internet in Puerto Rico is apparently very, very different. So just make sure you know what to do. Naya, I don't know how the Virgin Islands is. I know nothing about it, so I'm sorry. But if you have any questions, I think Pal might be the one to go to for questions for that. But let's just go down the agenda. So anyway, final leases need to be approved ASAP. So I know each of you are getting worked on that individually. In terms of furniture, who already has furniture?
Like decked out already, or just has pieces of furniture?
Yeah, like you started collecting some stuff.
Yeah.
What do you got?
My mom gave me the, I guess what can be used as a receptionist, a single receptionist desk from her storage.
Nice.
Yeah.
Like a wooden one?
Yeah, it's like wooden and metal. It's really cool.
Okay, cool. Is there anything receptionist could do desks like that?
You know, because then all you have to
Just
do
put a
is
black
put
label.
a monitor.
Black tablecloth fixes everything.
That's true.
That's so true.
It does. I'll probably be getting rid of those BT dubs. So if you want to take them.
I'll take them.
People on the island, both islands, right? Put what furniture you've gotten. Have you gotten anything? Nothing so far?
I have 3 black chairs, folding chairs that I had for my last brand, so I never sold. So
That's three.
that I sold to my dad, but he never paid for, so I'm taking it back. So
You guys want to go on Craigslist? They have a free section.
yeah, I got all my furniture in my last branch from Craigslist.
Yeah, and it's all free.
You have to jump on it fast though, because I think with the free desk.
You have to jump on it fast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I texted him and everything. He didn't respond, but then I think it was 2 or 3 days ago. They asked me,
Yeah, but you need to have a way to pick it up too. Like, do you
Yeah.
know anybody with a truck?
My dad has a truck, but I just have to know his work schedule.
Yeah, you need to.
Because apparently now he works by contract, or I don't know what that is.
Yeah. So what you definitely need are. All right, so Naya has a receptionist desk. She has 15 chairs. 15's good. All right, and she has her desk. Yeah, so what you want to do is you want to have at least 2 wooden desks, right? So you have your main desk for training and interviews, and then you want to have your pre-screen desk.
Okay.
Receptionist, they can use a white table,
White table.
like a plastic table.
Okay, that's fine.
Put black tablecloth on it, and you're
Yeah.
good to go. So Neymar has desks, 20 white chairs, and I'm in the process of getting desk chairs. Nice. Yeah, so for your receptionists, it's not necessary. It's just ideal if you had like a comfier chair for them. But if anything, they can just get a regular chair. Chairs are going to be the biggest expense.
My
What?
only expense for furniture was my chairs.
Yeah, it's really hard to find good chairs that look good.
And are bacteria free.
Huh?
And are clean.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
So what's it called? Puerto Rico, you guys are lucky because from what Jessica told me, they don't really care.
What?
It's true, and
Yeah, the
I went into the
plastic-
San Juan office. It's like the plastic yard chairs,
Yeah.
and that's
Yo,
like
that's so dope.
super
I wish
cheap
we
and
could get
so
away with-
easy.
But that's like $50.
Yeah. So no, that's pretty awesome. I would ask Taylor Max actually. Maybe he gave Issa chairs.
Okay.
I don't know how many he has left. So yeah, you want to get about 20 chairs at least. 20 should do it. 15 will get you by, for about a couple weeks, Naya. But I would try to aim for at least 20. Walmart does sell chairs. That's where I got my chairs, but they're $10 a pop. So you don't really want to go that route. But if you need to, you can. So if you go on Craigslist, you should find some. I would go to churches around the area.
Okay.
And usually the summertime for churches is pretty empty because a lot of families are out of town. So a lot of churches, like, they need a lot of chairs for when they have like events and dinners and stuff like that. So for my branch, I got 20 chairs from my church, and I just had to give them back at the end of the summer. That's what Robbie did in Vero Beach. He went to a church. So you just need to go, be friendly with them, say you're a college student or a college graduate, and this is what you're looking to do, and it's just for the summer. And you really only need that mainly for May and June, because in July, your team slims down.
Yeah.
You still need chairs, but I mean,
You could probably get by like.
you got them. They're on your team.
Yeah, they're not going anywhere.
If you're a little short on chairs, whatever. And you're also making money throughout the summer too, so you can maybe afford to buy chairs. Like maybe once a week, you buy one chair. I don't know. So I'm just throwing out ideas, but try your best to get free furniture. Free furniture. You don't want to pay for it. Even in my district, I haven't paid for anything here except those chairs you're sitting on now. But I got those in my second year. So if you have any questions on furniture, post it on WhatsApp. Internet, things you want to look out for. Make sure it's in your area. Monthly rate. And you want, as soon as the lease is signed, you need to set up the internet install date, like as soon as possible. It's going to be a challenge, so you want to anticipate that. And it's the most urgent thing other than finding a receptionist. If you don't have internet, you don't have calls, your phones.
Generally that hard to set up internet? Because I don't.
It's not hard. It just takes a long time for them to come out. So like if you 3 weeks.
I didn't
Yeah.
have that much problems. I guess it was just.
I mean, it's not. Sometimes if they provide it, like, it's fine, but it takes a long time for them to go out there and do it. So if you wait till, let's say, a week before you're open, you're gonna have 1 to 2 weeks with no internet. It's not necessarily hard, but it's just they're not in any rush.
Yeah.
They really aren't. It's the weirdest thing. So anyway, let's do a review of the calendar. I'm gonna go over dates. So take out your planners.
I swear that's it.
You just write them down in your notes.
Yeah.
Nice.
You have your planner?
I do. I just don't have a pencil. There's not a pencil in this. There's no pencil in this thing.
Well, these dates aren't changing.
Oh,
All right. So, we have Kill meeting on the 1st of April. All right.
Is that a joke? Is that a joke?
Is that a joke?
Because it's only before.
Oh, I get it. So it's the 1st to the 2nd. I believe you guys have a third day on April 3rd. Those are for new offices only.
Okay.
First time ever offices? Or?
I think not first time, but like
Yeah.
new territory. I think so it'd be for you too.
Oh, okay.
April 4th is D-Day.
Mhm.
The 16th and the 17th is kickoff. On the 10th, we have a staff meeting. One
April
second.
10th?
Does not apply to
May
me.
10th.
does it?
Oh, I was gonna say.
Yeah, that won't apply to you.
Awesome sauce.
Mm.
All right. So the 10th, it's either the 10th or the 17th, but it'll probably be the 10th. But either 10th or 17th staff meeting. We have a 10K Alliance meeting. It's a divisional thing. It's either the 23rd or the 31st.
Mm.
So either the 23rd or 31st of May of a 10K Alliance meeting. SC1 push for Georgia and FC is May 30th to June 14th.
The 30th, June 14th.
So this is SC one,
SC1 push.
30 to
30th to the 14th.
14.
SC1, the conference will be on the 14th.
So we're kicking off in Jacksonville, right?
We have a staff meeting on June 26th or the 28th, one of the two. There's a divisional push the 28th of June to the 6th of July. There's a division meeting July 6th. The SC2 push is on July 11th to the 29th.
That was 1 to 1.
11th to the 29th. And SC2 is the 29th to the 30th. And then for you, Dwayne, you're going to have a first fall DM meeting on the 30th to the 31st.
30th and 31st.
Mm-hmm. The tour that Jeff is going to go on for the AGL candidates is the 2nd of August, the 12th of August. All right.
You said to the 12th?
Mm-hmm. SC3 will be August 18th to the 19th. All right. that's it.
Question.
Hmm?
Do you know if SC2 is going to be all the?
It's gonna be Atlanta too,
Okay.
so you're lucky. Oh, your SC3 is gonna be the 10th and 11th of August.
Okay.
All right. Cool. So let's let me close that. All right. Why is this keep resetting? One second. Let's see.
Okay.
All right.
You have a charger? This.
Let's see. All right. So deadline to find your internet, by the way, is the 28th. You didn't know that already. All right. So these are things you guys need to observe before kill meeting.
Oh, the,
It's like 8 things.
Yeah.
So you need to observe receptionist calls and PR calling. PR kickoff meeting. Since I only have Allison, you can actually find the kickoff meeting online.
Okay.
Beth has John has the link. Base pay entry. You know how to do that. You know how to do contracts. Receptionist checks.
Oh my
Bless
gosh.
you. Hmm?
I don't know what's wrong with me.
Yeah, receptionist checks. Sales report. You need to know how to enter that. You need to know how to enter PRs.
That's it.
Mhm.
I know how to do almost all these already.
Hashtag
Already.
second time. You need to set your voicemail for incoming receptionist calls. Yep. I recommend downloading Umail.
It says something about Google Voice.
Google Voice too.
Yeah.
You can do that. That's easier, personally. But they ran out of Miami numbers on Google Voice.
Oh, well,
They probably have Port
305 and 776.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
they have 302. I don't know if that's technically Miami though.
302?
I
It's
don't
not
know.
Miami.
Oh.
Never heard of 302.
Really?
Nope. All right, that's pretty much it for the list. Any updates on sponsorships? Is anyone getting sponsored?
I'm in the works to see if I can help have my grandma sponsor me for living expenses.
Okay, in the works. What does that mean?
I've just been, just kind of like, since I really talked to her, so it's just kind of like building rapport. Since I switched my major to business, she should be a little bit more open to help me out. Since I'm just basically telling her that this is helping me for school.
All right. So we're gonna do a PPR discussion. La Isla, or the islands, I'm gonna call you guys because there's 2 of you. Las Islas, but they don't speak Spanish in the version.
True.
So anyway, call. I expect a lot of your energy and attention on this part because this is a huge part of the business. So right after this, we're going to do PDI scenarios, of which we will hop off of Google Hangouts and we will hop on a conference call because you guys are great, but if you type out what you're going to say on PDI, I don't trust that that is as effective as actual fishbowl scenarios. Okay, so let's go to PDI or impacting PPR. So let's start with you know what, actually, let's just hop on a conference call now because this is all discussion. So everyone and Lisa, I'm gonna leave the broadcast up so that anyone who wants to can watch this later. Let's just hop on the divisional conference call number. Calling an audible. A la Jeffrey. Oh, what?
This service is provided by freeconferencing.com. Please enter your access code followed by the pound. This menu will
I mean, that won't be
repeat.
till later. We'll take a break before then.
Oh, password.
Access code accepted.
No, password by.
Yeah.
Am I the only one that makes a little song when I do it?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah, like 3, 4, 9, 3, 7, 8, 9. Do it, count. Yeah, you're right. God. Epic phone down.
Shit, that's what I was doing.
Everywhere.
Let me hear this. There was a period in time where I thought they were conference calls every Friday. So I would hop on, and then no one was there. And I was like, all right, what's going on?
Who that is? Who is that? Hey, who's that? I had it on mute. Who's on the call? I mean, someone's on the call.
No, we hear you.
We're here.
Who's that? So, is that Sony Mud?
Okay, I feel like we have
How
to
are
know
you?
what's hot with this. Appreciate it.
I'm good, and you?
Fantastic.
Hi, Sony.
We just had great food. Is that Alemi?
Yeah, let me go.
How you doing? Doing great. Well, I thought I wanted to include you guys a little bit more since we're doing discussion and since you're 4 minutes behind. I figured that wouldn't be very productive. Excuse me? Probably. I took some stuff from Jessica.
Oh my God.
All right, guys, this is what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about PPR. This is recording as well so that whoever is chiming in later on can view this discussion as well. So we're going to talk about the rep targeting. That's going to be the first handout we're going to cover. So if you can pull up on your computers the rep targeting handout. Props to Mr. Jeffrey Gamboa. He was featured on a call run by Scott Dennis, and Scott spoke very, very highly of his rep targeting program. And while he was talking about it, all I could think of was I've known about this rep targeting program since I was a branch. And the fact that now he's getting recognized for it and the division still, our PPR is still a little bit lower than most, that definitely speaks volumes on my end at the top of it. You know, we definitely need to be following the program a little bit more. So we're going to cover this. I'll put it on the TV for you, Blake. Can you see it? Sony Marnalemi, do you have it up?
have the file open, so which one documents do I open?
The 10K fast start targeting sequence. Doesn't that sound like a, I don't know,
Like a robot, like
10K fast start targeting sequence. Like,
engage.
engage. Ready for,
I don't know, like just, what
I
do
don't
you
even
call it?
know.
Like some
Sounds like a Mission
Transformers.
Impossible.
Mission Impossible, right? So Alemi and Sonimar, don't worry about muting yourself. That way we can just open discussion. And let me pull up the handout. So we're gonna go through this, and I'm just gonna go around the horn. We'll start with Blake, then we'll go to Sonimar, and then Alemi, and we'll end with Dwayne. I'm just gonna go in that order the whole time, and you guys tell me what you know about each one. So if you look at the handout, it starts with day 1 pullback, then pullback number 2, et cetera, et cetera. So
I got
Blake,
day one.
yeah. So
You just want me to tell you what happens during this process?
yeah, overall, if you can say a pullback for me.
Oh, say a pullback. So it's like, okay,
Yeah.
so can I have the following people stay back? Dwayne, Karina, Sonimar, and Alemi.
Sure.
Okay. So the reason I have you guys here is because you're all fired. Just kidding. Actually, it's the exact opposite. I feel that of the people who are in training, you guys gave me the most energy. You're the ones who really participated really well. Not saying that the others didn't, but I just saw that you guys really, did a really good job at interacting and stuff like that. I'm not the kind of person or kind of coach that, tells you when you did something wrong. I'd rather just tell you when you did something right. So I just really appreciate it. And there's one more important thing. Oh yeah, so for those people gunning for 10K fast start, is the regular assignment. I know I said was, at least X amount of names of 30 or whatever names and numbers for you guys. I'd say if that's something you're gunning for, I'd say do 60 or just above that, if not. And also, it's something I'm basically having them lead the way for the next day. I'll lead by example, so that way you have more people show up for the second pullback.
Yeah, that was good. The only thing I would say for the names list is I always give an example. So I'm like, all right, so let's say Dwayne comes in here tomorrow with 100 names and 100 numbers. It would make them want to get more, yeah. But I say example 100, because I do want them to go for as much as they can. If you want to get to know your people a little bit more and connect with them, you could always ask, like, what were your favorite parts of training? And you just kind of go around the horn and they'll say their favorite parts of training. If you want, you can invite them to come earlier the next day. It's not entirely necessary. I haven't done it in years. I can't remember the last time they came in earlier. I'm running online training, so I don't have time for that. But if you want to, you can. If you feel like you have the time and the energy for that. Okay. So Sonimar, how does pullback number 2 go? Have you done that before?
I've never done that before. I've only seen it done once like that.
So that means you're perfectly capable of doing it now, then, right? Just kidding. Anyone want to give a shot? Or Sonimar, do you want to give it a shot as to how it would happen?
Sure.
If you don't want to, it's fine. We'll go. It was your turn, so wanted to respect that. It's your turn, so I wanted to respect that if you wanted to give it a try. But if not, we can move on to someone else.
You can, if you guys can get there for me, that way I can
Okay, cool. You got it?
I think it's
All right, Dwayne wants to give it a try.
Okay, so of the top 50%, you pull back like the top people of the top 50% that you really wanted to go ahead and think that they're gonna have a 10K fast start, people that you really know are gonna gun it, people like the sharpest of the bunch. Then pretty much you find something that's really that you really like about them, that's what's genuine. So it's pretty much, I just love how you were role playing and how you sounded during the role play. I love how you were able to get so many names, how you had the top as much names as possible during the names list.
Mm-hmm.
And I really do feel like the team that I just pulled back, that's like the the all-star team, but you guys are like the MVPs. I feel like you guys can really gun it and get a 10K push. So what I would really like from you guys is to get as many possible. And I'd also emphasize the getting 100. Like really did it. I would tell them. When I first started, I had 112 names and numbers that I came into the phone jam with, and I pretty much told them all that, and then I also pretty much try to look at their schedule, and then try to see like how their fast start would go, and try to see like tell them to try to keep their entire fast start open as much as possible, so they have as much time to do as many demos as possible. And I pretty much casted a vision on how well things would go if they have a really great fast start.
Good. Yeah, that's pretty much it. And it's really funny, like the first time that you do it, it's like you're almost scared to do it. I don't know if you felt that way. Because like you already pulled them back, and so if you do a double pull back, it's like they already like the ones that you send out, they're like, oh no, I guess we're not the favorite. So anyway, but I will say once you do it, it's like it's great. You feel so good afterward. And like who cares about their feelings?
Yeah, I just stopped caring.
Yeah, like it's awesome. So what I'll do for the double pullback, I'm like, hey, you guys are the ones that I actually think would do 10K in your fast start if you tried. You know, like that's specifically what you want to tell them.
No, I was gonna say, so after you do the first pullback, it's like, all right, so everybody's good except for X, Y, and Z.
Yeah, so I'm like, all right, you guys are good to go. Actually, Blake and Dwayne, stay back for like 2 more minutes.
Yeah.
1 second, real quick. But yeah, everyone else, you're good to go. But thank you, great job, high five.
Yeah, so
And then like for like the 2 that stay back, they're like, so are we like okay? Like, it's always so weird. But anyway, so anymore, does that help?
Yes, it does.
Good. Yeah, no problem. Alemi, you want to give a chance to the day 2 pullback? If you don't, same thing as Sonimar if you don't know it.
I kind of know what I have to say, you know, like I basically pulled back the people I pulled back the day before, right? But pulled back the people who got the most names, right?
Just the top ones. Whoever you feel. Yeah.
Alright, and obviously I have to go a little high flyer there, right? That's where I.
Yeah, that's when you tell them to come to the high flyer.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, you pull them back. You let them know. You know, they definitely want to be there at the high flyer. Yeah.
Is that also where you say if you notice there's new people here for the pullback and some people aren't here for the pullback?
Sure.
Okay.
If you want, that's cool too. But you just want to make sure that they come to the high flyer workshop. That's number 1, and then also turn that. And then what I like to do is, you know, that's kind of like where I tell them to work hard tonight, like on the phone jam. Like, you know, I'm like, hey guys, I'll say the quote that Jeff says, do tonight what others won't, so tomorrow you can do what others can't. You know, and I'm like, work hard tonight so that you don't have to work hard tomorrow. You know, please, I don't want to have to be chasing you. So that's kind of like your time with the top ones. To make your life a little bit easier for day 2 PDI, because you're gonna have probably a Friday night interview, and so you don't have time. Like, you guys are gonna be exhausted by the time day 2 PDI comes, so you don't want to have to worry about that as much. Cool. So Dwayne, high flyer workshop. Can you do it right now? Whole thing?
The entire high flyer workshop?
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah.
You don't have to do the whole thing. It's fine. But overall, what's the objective of the workshop?
Pretty much get them thinking bigger for their fast start. Make them think that they can get 10K. And look for those who are there who you know probably can't. Get them to think higher than just getting an order. Trying to get them to think if they think you can do $1,000, make them $2,000 or $3,000.
Yeah.
I try to get them as many promotions as possible and pretty much just set the mentality for doing the right things on your demo. So, like from proper phone times, best times to call, when you should call, why you should call, better better communication with the managers that is going to help them close on more sales, and pretty much just setting the right mindset for them to get as high as fast as possible.
Yeah. What I love what Brian Hurlman said at, this would be what, Year in Banquet? Did you guys catch what he was talking about in terms of demos? Anyone want to give that a shot?
Wasn't it where it was like if you do 40 demos, you're a shoo-in to hit your 10K. 30, like I'm pretty confident like you'll hit 10K. Like along those lines. Just as far as like basically saying like you set up a crap ton of demos and I guarantee you that you'll do a lot better.
Okay, it was a little bit more specific than that.
Yeah.
Let's help Andrew on. So he said if you do 20 appointments, he's like, I've seen it happen. He's like, I'm not saying it won't, but I've seen it. You know, like chai, you can always get chai as an example. Do 21 or 22 appointments. He's like, I'll bet money on 30 appointments. He's like, if you do 30, I'll bet good money that you'll do 10K. Like I really would. He's like, I'll guarantee
40.
If you do 40, I'll guarantee it.
How much does the average rep actually do?
What's the PPR? Well, no, actually, no. I take it back. There's a report on it. Like your overall fast start PPR, like mine for last summer was 700. It's not really amazing. That's a pretty standard one, I would say. The like Jeff's, I think, is like 15. It's like over $1,000 for sure. You know, so anywhere between 5 and 7 is pretty average. Oh, they said sales.
Oh yeah, I thought you meant
Demos?
demos like, isn't that like 15?
That's the assignments.
Yeah.
How many do they do?
Yeah.
Not 15. By the time AT1 comes, how many do they usually do?
About 5. Anywhere between 3 to 5.
They do like 2 or 3. Some do like 5, yeah. But like,
Do 5.
yeah, these guys do like 2 or 3.
You know what's weird? I guess it's probably just because you did this really good job of like grouping us together, but like it was like everybody that was in my training class at Bastrop, we were just all did like 5 steps. Like it was normal. I don't remember any of the other kids.
Well, June are always the best seminars.
True. I think that was your biggest training seminar. Actually.
Yeah. So, yeah, so you want to set expectation for demos. And like Dwayne was saying, you want to set up good habits. Okay. So we're back to Blake. Monday's Champions Club.
Phone jam.
Phone jam, right? We just
Yeah.
want to making calls.
Morning phone jam, making sure that they book appointments for, if they haven't already, after AT1.
3-day window. There's something else. There's something.
Well, the actual Champions Club. So Jeff has a handout with all the Champions Club that he does.
Yeah.
And I believe the first one's Aaron Luden.
Okay.
I think. No, it's a scholarship one. It's not something else. It's a breakthrough one. But it's a scholarship one. I take it back.
When they talk about the
Scholarship approach.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we have Sonimar, AT1 recognition of Champions Club attendees. You know what? Let's skip that one. That's pretty self-explanatory. Let's skip Tuesday. Okay, well, Sonimar, do you know on Tuesday? It's not on the handout, but what else do your reps go to on Tuesday?
On Tuesday, we basically do PDI with them in the morning.
What in La Isla, I don't know how it's gonna work, but you should have an SLDM on Tuesdays.
Okay.
How does that work for you guys in the summer? Do you know?
I'm not sure because on Tuesdays last summer we only did
PDI.
interviews.
Well, yeah, for managers, but for reps, there's usually somebody that does an SLDM. For us, it's Jeff, obviously. But sometimes I know you guys would send them in for videos or stuff like that. So, well, anyway, yeah. So the PDI conversation has to be really good, and they're usually in for a second Champions Club. And then Friday is the workshop number 2, right? Alemi, have you ever seen that workshop being run?
No, I haven't seen that one.
That's cool.
I didn't know there was an actual workshop. I just thought we came to play.
Yeah, the main objective, Alemi, do you know the main objective of that workshop?
I don't know what workshop that is.
It's on Friday of their fast start. I mean, just think if, let's say if,
Okay,
yeah. What do you think the main objective of that workshop is? Or I guess the main objective of any workshop.
I mean, that's right before the weekend, right?
Yep, exactly.
Last weekend. So it's basically trying to get reps pumped for the weekend, so that the second weekend is always better than the first one, just to make sure you have a strong finish.
Yeah. So main thing is booking demos. So you just want them to schedule like a bunch of demos for their last weekend, like you said, to make sure that it's stronger.
Yeah.
Good.
The times for that would normally
I don't know. Jeff is going to cover that with you in your schedule. It'll be during phone time, probably in the evening, like 4 or 5 in the afternoon.
I remember this too. I remember Smokey had it. Because you're also running training too.
So the key to good PPR, guys, is just make sure that your reps are always doing demos. That's the main thing, is demo management. And this 10K rep targeting program is pretty much the foolproof way to get that done. They may or may not hit 10K in their fast start, but even if they hit 6,000, $1,000 in their pocket is better than freaking $100 in their pocket. So it's the best way to go about it. And if you look on the handout, if you scroll down, it has like the actual verbiage. So I didn't show it to you on purpose because I wanted to see what you guys knew. But there's the verbiage over here. Right. I remember being in training, I literally just read off that paper.
Yeah.
I printed out. I had a similar document, and I just printed out and I wrote off of it. Yeah. Right off of it. I did so many PCs right off of a computer. So many. Even nowadays, when I meet with my receptionist, I read off of a computer sometimes. All right, so moving on. PSP. If you can go to your handouts. We got Andrew on the call. And so he'll be joining us. But if you look at the handouts, Sunday paycheck meeting, North Florida put together a not a new PSP meeting, but I guess kind of a very standard one, so there's no question. Andrew, have you run some PSPs with Carlos?
A little bit. Yeah.
Do they follow this format for the most part?
I'm pulling it up right now.
Okay.
The doctor PSP.
Yeah. Sunday PSP one-on-one meeting.
Yeah, it's the same one we use in Tampa.
Yeah, it was made in Tampa. All right. So.
Oh, so this is like a chat, like when you meet with them one-on-one.
Yeah.
How it works. Okay, not how like Sundays are scheduled.
Yeah. So the what was I gonna say? The purpose of any PSP meeting is to look back, look forward, and action steps. So we're not really gonna cover this because I'd rather spend more time in talking about how to generate 10 demos ahead, because this is very simple. You just read off of it, and there you go. Can anyone not read here? All right, everyone's got it. All right, cool. So what I will say, this will help protect your money as a branch. Andrew, you're definitely going to have to worry about this in Miami because you're going to get a lot of sharp kids, but you're going to get a lot of in between too. To control the base pay that you're spending, what's the number of appointments you guys should bank on it when you have to freeze their base pay?
Number of appointments?
Yeah, number of appointments that they've had straight no sales.
Oh, 5, 6.
Yeah, 5.
Oh, they do reps?
Yeah, the reps. Once they've done 5 or 6 appointments, all no sales, just freeze them.
For the 6.
So we'll go over how to do that at the in-kill meeting. But what helps in a PSP is when you get their QPR. First of all, I know we do this in my office, but I want to stray away from that. I've seen so many people just when you go to a PSP, the first thing they do is they get handed a QPR sheet, so it's kind of like pushing base pay in their face when the first thing you should hand them is maybe the QPR, be like, hey, where are your order forms? Not the QPR, excuse me, the schedule sheet. And like, hey, where are your order forms, etc. If they need base pay, then sure. But then you want to mark all over it. So you want to get like a red marker or a blue marker or whatever. And I'm writing all over that thing so that they know that we're paying attention to what they're doing. So I don't know if that's on the document, but I thought I'd just say that now. So let's move on to how to generate 10 demos per launch. So there's no handout on this one. We're just going to discuss. So first of all, I'm going to do this on the board. On the broadcast. So you guys tell me what helps, what are all the elements in creating 10 demos per person
The elements.
in training, yeah.
Whether you have PDI.
Yeah.
Day 2 PDI,
Yeah, day 2 PDI.
So specifically training.
Oh, in training is what
Yeah,
you're looking
training.
for?
So basically, Saturday at 4:30, they
already have 10.
they average 10 demos, yeah.
Okay. Well,
You guys on a conference call, you can feel free to chime in too. Names list, yeah, that's the
Yeah.
first one. Names list. How many should you average? Nope, 100.
100.
yeah, for the names.
100 names. If they get 50 numbers, it's great,
Yeah.
but you want 100 names. Good. So what else?
You have
We're talking about everything, like
Everything, yeah.
Everything.
Just in training, not necessarily in order. We could go in order. So
Proper
what's the
schedule
would be the next step after names list?
Assignment.
Assignments, yeah.
yeah,
There's one part before names list though that Dwayne you just said, which is the schedule talk,
Oh, so then that's where you can let
the
them know.
walkthrough of the schedule. When do you mention 10 appointments? Or what specifically, what do you call the 10 appointments? What does Jeff call it?
What do you call it? The
magic number.
Magic
magic
number.
number.
Yeah, magic number 10. And that's not even if you're a high flyer.
Yes.
High flyer is like what, 14,
15.
15 plus. And the schedule walkthrough. And then, so there's that. Okay, so after assignments, what's the next time that you do 10 demos?
Oh, between
The phone talk?
after.
So on day 2 now. So we
Yeah.
just passed day 1, so day 2, when's the,
Like the phone talk or whatever when you're getting into.
before that? But he said the phone talk, had a call. When's the other time that helps you with the amount of demos on day 2?
Do you like recognize them for?
Yeah, the recognition in the beginning. So the opening
Okay.
comments in day 2,
Let's see.
and the way that you address certain assignments.
Mhm.
So you need to make sure you walk around the room.
How many did you get?
How many demos did you get? If they didn't get, not demos, excuse me, how many phone numbers did you get? If they didn't get the phone numbers, make sure they work on it. Training ends pretty early in the summer, ends up at like 4, I believe. Yeah, 4 or 5. They have plenty of time to do this. Right? So then after that, it's what Dwayne
The
said,
phone
which
call.
is, scheduling for the phones. Who knows if training ends, for example, at 7 o'clock on Friday, what time is red zone?
5.
Yep, 5 o'clock. So Andrew, what are you starting at 5?
Okay.
Sorry. 5 o'clock. You'd be starting. You go into like the phone talk. You
Yeah.
At least an hour for phone jam.
So 5.
Schedule on that phone.
Yeah, schedule on phone. So schedule on phone starts at 5 o'clock. If you've been scripting Jeff lately, you don't really need a huge Mac talk anymore. My Mac talk is like 2 minutes nowadays because they get it that they should only see Macs because you're mentioning it throughout training. Then 6 o'clock, no later than 6:15, they should be on the phones. So who can tell me what are elements of that phone jam that help you generate more?
Being productive, just walking around the room, making sure that you're recognizing them before the booking demos, and just like
Yeah, run it like
just
phone
running
jam,
a
so
phone
don't-
jam.
Yeah, don't stay in the front minding your own business. What else?
Setting expectations for how much time they should go.
Just getting them
Yeah.
excited in general.
Yeah, I try to get them excited to schedule more. It's kind of like a reminder saying how the magic number is 10, you know? So what I like to say is like when we do their schedule, I'm like, all right, so if you guys are looking to go all out, you might want to do all the appointments that you have available, if not, 90% of it. If you're doing this in, part-time, maybe 60 or 50% of what you have. If you're doing this in between, a good 70, 80%. So if they have like 15 demos available, if they're doing this in between, that's still at least 10 or 12, So anyway, good. What I like to do too, especially if you have sharp people, is I pin them against each other. And I'll spread them around the room like where I want them to be. I'm like, no, Joe, you phone jam here, and Johnny, you phone jam over there. Let's see who can get more. And I'll just say that. Let's see who can get more. That's all they need. they get into like competitiveness, and then it's always the girls that end up getting more in the beginning because I don't know. It ends up being that way. So like if the ladies are leading the way, I'm like, oh, ladies giving the boys a challenge.
Oh.
Hashtag estrogen.
Yeah.
Like the boys get mad, be like, oh, look who's catching up.
Yeah.
Nico for the win.
Yeah, right.
Oh, okay. And then like, you just kind of egg them on.
Yeah. One thing that Tori did, I remember this now, it's coming back to me. He would do team names, and then he would do he would put like the 2 sharpest people be in charge of the team names or whatever, and then that would be used to drive phone jams.
Phone jam or
booking.
Or
yeah, sorry,
in
setting.
Training too.
Huh?
In training.
Yeah, he would do this on this. This is when he did when they would first set their appointments up before they went home. So he would be like, all right, cool, you're on team this, you're on team that. Whoever wins, just wins or whatever. Or he'll probably do
Sure.
a small thing.
That's cool. So I just egg them on in any way possible, any way that you want. If you feel like you need to, you can say whoever is the first to 10 or whoever gets to 10, pizza on me the next day.
Yeah.
I did that and it worked, and then I realized you don't really need that in order to get 10 demos, but you could if you want. It's up to you.
Is there a way where you can do that in a way to where they don't rush it either? Because I feel like one thing I realized too in the contest, they'll just start booking willy-nilly, and then next thing you know, they get a whole bunch of reschedules.
That's why I've heard that from some people in the Carolinas because they're known for phone jams, but it's true. They rush it or they just schedule anyone and it's not very effective. But you could, it depends on your group. You don't really need it. Cool. So you also want to listen to them and you want to make sure that you're asking them if they're telling you to put a confirmation number down, the penny in the fridge. This is your chance to meet with your people. Jeff is a fan of meeting with them on Saturday morning, which is kind of what I've been doing too. And Andrew and Dwayne, you can relate. You always have those couple kids in day 2 that you're kind of worried about. Like, are they going to come back tomorrow? Because let's say they're getting killed on the phone or they're being kind of quiet. You can tell, like, oh, fuck, I hope I don't lose this guy. So I would recommend meeting with those people. Be like, hey, let's go over your schedule real quick. And then you go over their schedule and you say, how are you feeling with everything? What do you want the training so far? Yeah, I do in the day 2 ones. Yeah, I want to save them, because if I don't talk to them, then what's left? They go home and they're thinking about it all on their drive home, how much they're scared of the job or not sure if they'll do well. And then when they get home and their parents ask them, how did it go? They'll be like, it was okay, you know? And then their parents jump on that saying, oh, you shouldn't even go tomorrow. So then by the time you do day 2 PDI,
You already have all that.
they're already quit. Like, you don't have a chance. So I'd rather just take the time in the office and do it then. So you don't really have time to do it with everybody, but you can. So then you do day 2 PDI. Has everyone here watched Scott Dennis?
Oh yeah.
Scott Dennis video?
Yep. Yeah.
Great, what's your thoughts? Do you do text? Do you call all your people on day 2 PDI?
I trained an assistant to do it, so we do call them. I used to do text, but I feel like you can't drive them as well through text. I have seen the difference. What I do recommend, Andrew, day 2 PDI is a very easy thing to delegate to. So try to develop an assistant by SC1. Show them how to do it. It's so easy to teach. That's what I taught my first assistant here. He learned it in one night. He watched it. He's like, I remember when you did this to me. And I'm like, yeah.
Well, I feel like my thoughts are almost like, I don't know. I feel like it's almost just like checking in, just like thinking the text is efficient. I'm sure you can talk to them, like, really, motivate them, like, if they're, like, thinking about it.
Exactly, yeah. If it's just to check in, then.
They're going to do a good job at that.
I just have them watch the Scott Dennis video and they kind of get a hang of it. But yeah, you're right. If it's just a check-in, I think text is fine. But we do want to motivate them, and maybe what you can do is get your best people, and then if you end up getting an assistant, have them get like the bottom half, just to kind of see how they do it.
Right.
So anyway, yeah. So day 2 PDI is key, and what's the phrase that you do a lot in day 2 PDI, like in terms of action after you hang up the call?
Oh, 5 calls?
Yeah, 5 calls. Hey, make 5 calls real quick. Call me back after. Doesn't matter what happens.
So
just
golden.
give me a call back. Right. If it's getting late, you can be like, oh, shoot me a quick text after 5 calls. I recommend just taking the call. I went to my local sushi place, picked up some sushi, went home and watched my Netflix, and I took day 2 PDI at the same time. All right, cool. So then day 3, how do we get 10 demos per rep?
Oh, you got the champions.
Yep, Champions Club. That's why it's specifically before Phone Jam. Yeah, so we have Champions Club, or High Flyer Workshop, excuse me. And then we have the Phone Jam right after that. I love what, I'm pretty sure it's Brian Hurlman that says it. Because you have to update the board from last night to what happened now. And like 9 times out of 10, people didn't really book up a lot of appointments at home compared to the office. I remember being a new rep. I lied about it. I was like, yeah, I have 3 extra. And I didn't get any. Because I don't know, it's just reps are weird when they're new, you know? So you have to update it, and then before you kick off the phone jam, like make sure you do a good job. What do you need to set up properly? Because they're calling on Saturday. So what do you need to say so that they actually make calls?
That you're gonna be checking those times and everything.
Not necessarily. It's Saturday morning, so a lot of people fake phone jam and they pretend to call their family because they think that they're asleep.
Yeah, so you say, well, in traffic, like, who here has ever driven on, main highway enter here?
That's for morning phone jam on the week.
On the week, okay.
Yeah. We're calling it like 10 o'clock on Saturday.
Oh, well,
It's like, dude, your parents are up.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, raise your hand if your parents are awake every day at 6 a.m. Boom, 10 a.m. is like nothing. They're definitely awake. So you want to set up Saturday phone jam the right way, and then ideally they schedule, another 3 to 5 appointments in here at the office. And then afterward you say, hey, look, you are more productive here than at home. This is why we do phone jams here. Because you guys, it's our way of saying you guys don't do what you're supposed to do.
Yeah.
unless it's here. So when you wrap up training, you do the expectations talk. When you talk about phone jams, you have like literal proof that
Yeah.
we work and your way. Not that it doesn't work, it's not as efficient.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like working out. It's just like anything. You know, you want to set yourself up the right way.
So, yeah, what I was gonna say too is that like promotion throughout training, just like the standards. Like I'm watching Fred Roman's training. He has this like starting day one,
Uh-huh.
you know, schedule walkthrough. He talks about and then on Friday, you know, we're gonna book up your goal. You know, you're gonna book up 5 to 10. You know, here from the office, we're gonna help you out with that.
Yep.
You're gonna go home. You'll book up another 5 to 10 on your own, and then Saturday morning, we'll help you book up another 5 to 10. So, like the whole entire weekend, day 1, day 2, day 3. Everyone like knows, like, all right. It's like I'm before they even come into day 2. I'm gonna book up from here. I'll go home, book up more, and then tomorrow I'll book up my last like 5 more. So that's expectation versus like they just did the first time and it's like, all right, now I want you to make more calls when you get home.
Yeah.
You know, versus that, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, that's in the schedule walkthrough. So that's a good point. Who said that again? Roman or Cordero?
Yeah, he says it's literally like, I mean, he has things. Yeah, he says it like a million times. Training, promoting like that standard, just like he says like talking on like that like 1,000 million times.
What do you say, booking? Like just always promoting 5 to 10?
Yeah.
Okay.
So he's saying like tonight from the office do 5 to 10. When you get home, 5 to 10. Then the next day 5 to 10. But he says on day 1 walkthrough.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, basically he's saying like
okay.
yeah, so everyone will leave with 50. You know, if you're really put together, you know, you can leave between 50 to 30 appointments.
Yeah, exactly. So what's it called? Now all of your stop bys, if they only did like 2 appointments their first weekend, I wouldn't ask them the question, how many demos did you do? You don't want to promote that, you know? So obviously if you have a kid that did a lot, they're like, oh, how many demos did you do? Oh, about 12, great. Now I recommend use each other, you know, Skype into each other's trainings and share your story. Sarah did that a lot. Her branch summer, you know, I Skyped in. I can't even count how many times I Skyped in, and because we know what to say. Has Jeff talked about the Drew Frank structure of the stop by?
Not at all.
Everyone on the call, have you guys heard how Drew Frank does his stop bys?
No.
All right, I'll tell you right now so you can write it down. It's money. I've been doing it ever since I heard it, and it's the best thing since sliced bread. So the point of his stop bys is that it's the same thing every single time. It's repetitive. So it's kind of like, you know, he says things for the home, they don't cost hundreds, they cost thousands. Things for the home, they don't cost hundreds, they cost thousands. Things for the home, they don't cost hundreds, they cost thousands, right? So he has them like finish his sentences. So he does the same thing for his stop bys. He wants every single person to hear, cut a lot of food, do a lot of demos, follow the manual, listen to Drew, right? So the questions that he asks, hold on, I'll tell you right now. This was at SLC. You all need to watch that video. It's like so good.
Can you send this one?
It's an Inductor Connect. It's the SLC one. It's called the one thing. All right, so this is what he says. What's your favorite thing about Vector? What's your favorite thing about Cutco, the product? And don't be afraid to cut off your people, because this is how you don't want them to go off on tangents. So, yeah, what's your favorite thing about the job? Flexible, great. What's your favorite thing about the product? Forever guarantee, awesome. How many demos did you do your first weekend? If you could do anything differently, what would you do? And it's usually I'd do more demos. What food did you cut? So how many demos did you do? If you could do anything differently, what would you do? What food did you cut? Who did you focus on? And who knows the answer to that question? Who? Oh yeah, you know. You want to focus on the best 5 customers, best 5. That's another thing. So like Andrew said, you always want to say throughout training, you want to see 5 to 10 people. You also want to see, hey, of the 10, 20 appointments that you do, You want to make sure your best 5 are in there. All right. And then and then he goes, so did you make up your own demo or what? And they're like, no, I followed the manual. And that's it. So it's like, love the job, super flexible, love the people, love the product, has a forever guarantee. I did about 10 demos. If I could do anything differently, I'd do more demos. I cut a lot of tomatoes and pineapples. You know, I focus on my best 5 and I follow the manual. Like if they can just hear that from like 10 different people, your kids are going to do well because it's repetitive, you know, and it focuses on the right habits. So in your stop buys, that's another way that you can generate 10 demos per head because it needs to come from somebody else other than you. Cool. Any questions? Any add-ons? Cool. So let's do this. Let's take 5. We're almost done. We're actually right on time. Next, we have Hurlman's PDI scenarios. So if you could just have that open.
That's the Crown Town, right?
Yeah. So if you can just have that open, we're going to go ahead and go with everybody. And I'm just going to give you different scenarios, and everyone's going to get a chance to do a quick fishbowl scenario and interact. Okay, so let's do this. It is 2:32 at 2:40. Let's hop back on the conference call, and we'll do the PDI scenarios. So I'll talk to you guys soon.
Can you play this?